Yeah, I think it's a point away from home in the Premier League is always a good point. Disappointed with certain aspects of how we end up with a point, but overriding factor is really proud of what the lads went and produced again. I thought they played really well in all different spells of the game. Nice with the ball, played through the shape, scored 2 great goals. Possibly could have had a penalty on Ryan Fredericks. So yeah, we had some good moments, and then when the momentum swings off the back of a poor penalty decision, then the lads have to then knuckle down and try and see it out. And they adapted to that and limited Fulham to sort of a lot of balls in the box, but real hopeful ones that could land with them, could land with us, and yeah, I thought they managed all spells really well.
Obviously, you mentioned they were back to the start of that first goal, brilliant move all the way out to the back and brilliant finish. I've been delighted with the way the team built that right from their own centre backs. Yeah, we're working hard on that as lots of other things. So yeah, I thought both goals were really good, and I thought we had some real nice moments with the ball. It was a shame that the momentum swung on the penalty decision, because I was enjoying going toe to toe, but at that time I just felt that the place is up a little bit now and just need to try and help the boys get through the next 20 minutes or whatever it was at that point. Just a bit more on that penalty then. Obviously, is he given the referee decision to make, or do you think it's just a soft decision?
I think it's a terrible decision. Terrible decision.
Just Mitrovic looked for it, or just... Yeah,
so Jefferson Lerma and Mitrovic got their arms around each other. If someone's got their arms around you, I have no idea what makes you fall backwards. So for me, it's obvious that Mitrovic has initiated the fall and pulled Jefferson Lerma on top of him. I mean, I can't understand how you would fall backwards if someone's holding you. Doesn't make any sense. So, does Jefferson Lerma have his arms around him? Yes. Does Mitrovic have his arms around Jeff? Yes. I mean, no one will ever convince me otherwise. It's a foul on Jefferson Lerma.
And the Fredericks one, obviously, had one he thought he should have had last week. Again, this week, is this one clear, I think? Or?
I mean, he's running really fast and someone pulls his arm. Yeah. I think it's a foul. I understand that it's a small pull on his arm, but if we're allowed to pull people's arm to stop their momentum, I think I think it was probably a penalty. But I haven't looked at that one as closely as the Mitrovic one.
Dan. Hi Gary.
Hi.
It's quite a string of decisions that you can say are going against your team. A lot of refereeing decisions that obviously you clearly don't agree with. It must be quite frustrating sitting there. Another one's gone against you today. Affected the result, and there's nothing really you can do about it. It must be quite frustrating for you personally.
Yeah, I think frustrating and just disappointing for the lads. I think. I mean, it's hard because you don't want to sound like you just disagree with every decision they make. But I think we're either 6 or 7 VAR checks, and we've had 0 go our way. So it's either really unlucky. Hopefully that turns, and we start to get a little rub of the green, and a couple go our way.
Well, positively, it was another great performance from Dom up front, a lot of movement, particularly effective, come up inside right channel. You've got the assist for that as well. You must be delighted with this performance today. Yeah, part of the plan was to try and get Dom down this side. That's why we pressed how we pressed, to try and get Dom down this side on transition, like down our right. And I thought he caused Fulham big problems. So yeah, lots of aspects that I'm really pleased with. Disappointed with the first goal because we don't quite get into where we should be to deal with the corner, but Fulham are a good set play team, so I understand they're gonna cause us problems from those. But yeah, so slightly disappointed with that, and disappointed that the boys gave absolutely everything, and that I think we win the game if they don't get the penalty. Some real resilience in the back, particularly that second half when the momentum changed, like you say. You must be pleased with how the lads held out.
Yeah, it's difficult that, especially with Mitrovic in the box, and obviously that they weren't really getting to the byline and they weren't whipping things in behind us. It was more floated crosses that are sort of 50-50 balls, but you just hope at that moment that nothing falls to them and they don't score a screamer from the edge, or a couple of snapshots, I think, from Mitrovic and Tom Kearney. But yeah, the boys stood up, headed everything, stopped them getting behind us. Yeah, and saw out the game well.
Hi Gary.
Hi.
Quickly on Kelly's injury, is there any update on that?
Well, I haven't seen him for 2 days. I've got no update on that.
Dan mentioned Solanke. It seems as though his role has changed a little bit this season. Like last season, he was more a marksman, getting on the end of chances, but this season he seems like more of a sort of a selfless provider, running into the channel and creating chances in that way. Is that like a deliberate tweak, or is that just how?
No, Dom's always been selfless. I think he was a marksman last year because we were playing at a different level that we were dominant in. So we used to get loads of situations where we could get him big chances, and in the Premier League we managed to get him less. So and also we're playing against good sides that have the ball, so Dom has to do a lot of work for us. So yeah, he can do both. If he can be a marksman and he always works his socks off. So yeah, he's a really important player for us and sort of perfect number 9 for what we have to do this season.